Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Meilenberg, and I am going to take some time today in advisory to go over your PSAT scores. So all of you should have your scores in front of you along with the test booklet. And I'm going to go over the paper scores first and then show you the really useful tool, which is the online reporting system, which many of you may have already accessed, but I want to make sure you know all the tools there. So if you can take a look at your paper, if you get it out, this is what it looks like when you open it up. So this is the front page right here, and then your total scores are over here. So the first number is just your total score, and even more useful than that, I think, is your percentile. So the percentile says where you stand amongst your peers. So this person is in the 51st percentile. So that is pretty average. That means that they did better than about 51% of college-bound peers their age. Then it breaks it down on the paper report. It breaks it down just a little bit further, where it shows your scores in the evidence-based reading and writing and the percentile there. So this person, I think that says 31st percentile. So this person definitely needs to maybe work a little bit on their evidence-based reading and writing, and then 530 on their math. So if you see there that line below it, it kind of shows where they are in comparison to college-bound peers their age. So like I said, the reading and writing section, they have a yellow exclamation point, which means that they aren't in the red warning zone, but they definitely need to do a little bit work into that green college-bound, college-ready area. In math, they are on track, so you can see that there's green there. Then down here, it breaks it down just even a little bit farther into what your percentages, what your points were in reading, writing, and language, and in math. Okay, so again, I already talked about this, but this is their percentages. So you can take a look at that, and that really just gives you an idea of where you are in comparison to other kids your age. The last thing that I will note, this is only for the juniors, but it also will give you your MSC Selection Index. So this number, so this person got a 139, and that is, it matters for the National Merit Scholarship Corporation program. And so in the fall, they'll list the cutoff number that students above that number will be National Merit Scholars. And so you'll get that information in the fall. We always have 1 or 2 students that qualify for that. Then the other page that is really useful and interesting to you that you can use for preparation is it lists all of the questions and what your answers were to that question. Also tells the level of difficulty for that question. So if it has 3 little blue dots, that means that it was more difficult. If it has 2, then it was medium difficult. 1 is in the easier range. And so you can see which scores you missed, which questions you missed, which questions you may have skipped, what you got incorrectly. And this information will be even more useful when we talk about the online part of your results. So let's go to that now. I'm actually going to back out of this slide, and hopefully this will work. So you are actually, let me go back to the PowerPoint real quick. You are going to go to, and hopefully you can do this today and just kind of mess around with it a little bit, but you're going to go to studentscores.collegeboard.org. And if you already have an account, you'll sign in. If you don't have an account, you'll sign up. And if when you sign up, you are missing some scores, if you've taken more than 1 test, you can also even use this matching tool so that they can connect all your scores together. So this is where some really useful information is. So this is a demo site, so it kind of shows you what it will look like. as you go along. So this person, this demo account, they've taken the SAT, they've taken some subject tests on here, but down here is what I'm going to concentrate on is the PSAT and NMSQT. And so you find the test that you're looking for and click into that. And so on this front page is a lot like your paper sheet. So again, your score is right here, your percentile, what you got on each of the different sections of the test, the reading and writing, and then the math, and you can see that information about where you stand. And then it also projects what it thinks that you will get, what it predicts that you will get if you took the actual SAT in 11th grade. So that is on there as well. So that all of that is good information. But really, the really good information comes in this next, in these sections up here. So let's click on score detail. So score detail gives you 3 different sections. The first one is the test subscores. The cross-test section talks about how you might analyze text and solve problems related to subjects that weren't on the exam, and so you can look at that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over that right now. And then sub-scores that show your strengths across different, more kind of generalized areas. But first, let's talk about the test scores. So you can see that it breaks it down to reading, writing, and language, and math. And it shows you the scores in each of those. But this is where it can be really helpful. You can see the amount that you got correct, the amount that you got incorrect, and how many you skipped over, you didn't answer. Let's look at the incorrect questions. So, and you can, when you go to this page, so we're now on the test questions section up here. When you go to this page, you can see an overview. Again, there's more tabs up here, so you can go to each section of the tests. And you can even filter it to levels of difficulty or just the questions that you got incorrect. And so you can see that this person got a lot of incorrect questions in the higher levels of difficulty. But what's super cool is that you can then click on the question and you can see what the question was. And and you can go through all the questions like that and see what was going on. And then you can also even, I just clicked on that one. You can also even click on the answer and it will tell you why the question is correct or incorrect. And so this is totally free to you, and a really good and easy way to go back and analyze your questions and to study for the test when you will actually take it. So let's go back. They also, so I remember in the score detail, I also talked about those sub-scores and the cross-section scores that were the other 2 sections. So that's what this is. So this question could also be related to history and social studies. And so if you click on that, it will tell you a little bit about that. I also think that this is good information for you if you are missing the same types of questions. Maybe you go to your English teacher and you say, like, I'm always missing these questions that are about analysis. Can you help me out with that? Or can you take a look at these and explain it to me a little bit more? So that can also be a useful information for you. Let's see. So again, that's the test questions. I don't think there's anything more I want to say on that. Again, this is the sub-scores. So you can see these are strengths across different subject areas. And so you can see what like command of evidence is and see where your strengths are. Like this person, obviously, we already knew from the test scores that they were pretty good in math. So they're doing pretty well in algebra. But maybe their advanced math scores aren't. Actually, that was higher there. But maybe they need to work on some of these other sections. So really good information here that can give you a really good guide for how to study. And I'll even talk about how you can even go further with that in just a second. The last tab that I'm going to go to is the Skills Insight. So if you go to this page, it will tell you for writing and language, tells you your score, and then it tells you what their suggestion, like what you are likely able to do, like things that you are good at. And so you don't have to spend a lot of time on those things. And then it also goes over improvement, improve your skills by focusing on the following suggestions. And again, these are things that you could take to a teacher and say, I need help with eliminating wordiness or redundancy within a sentence. So, and maybe they could point you in the right direction, or maybe you could find worksheets on that online, or do some studying on your own. But again, all the information that you need in order to study is here if you take advantage of it. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but you can link your scores to the Khan Academy, and that also is free, and that will give you personalized, it will take a look at what your scores were, where your strengths and weaknesses are, and it will personalize your studying through their online tools. So that is pretty cool as well. All right, so I think we talked about most of this stuff. So let's just talk a little bit about your next steps. So again, the most important thing that you can do in high school, and you are already doing here at ISB, is continuing to challenge yourself with your coursework, and that's really what's going to get your skills up to par for these tests. You can link your scores with the Khan Academy. We already talked about that. And then just making sure, like, and you have to know yourself. Like, people pay lots of money to study for these tests, or to take classes during the summer on how to test for the SAT or ACT. And that's fine if that's the way that you need, that would be the most helpful for you to hold yourself accountable to study for these exams. But if you create a plan and stick to it, there's lots of free resources as well. And then you'll register for the SAT. Most juniors take it in the spring. I do want to say, though, that juniors, you're only required to take one test, either the ACT or the SAT, and juniors will take a free ACT here in the spring at ISB. And so make sure that you know that you can do that here, and you don't need to take both tests if you don't want to. I do also have fee waivers. If you receive free and reduced lunch, I can provide you with a fee waiver to take the SAT or the ACT. This goes over if you go to SAT Practice and you create a free account. That's how you can link your scores to the Khan Academy account on College Board. And it will create a personalized study plan for you. Oops. Let's see. We already talked about that. That's all Khan Academy. Oops. I will put these slides up on the ISB grade level page as well, so that you can go back and revisit if you're having any problems connecting your accounts. You can go through this information. The last thing that I want to talk about are the other tools that are available to you on this on your account. So again, this is that home page when you log in, and over here on the right hand side are a bunch of tools that you can use, not only for SAT practice, but also for college information, scholarship information, and career information. So lots of information on here as well. As the college and career counselor, one that I find really useful. So you have access to your CIS information, but this provides you with information on that's provided through Road Trip Nation, which is a super cool career search engine, and they actually also have a TV show that you can oh, I don't think I can access it on here. But anyway, they have a TV show that you can watch about different careers, or you can watch people exploring different careers, and so that's really interesting. But Road Trip Nation is excellent, and I highly recommend that. And it can connect it with different majors that you might want to start out with in college. There's also, this is something that we'll talk about a lot this year, especially as you are in the spring and you start your college search. But College Board Big Future, you can do, they have a search engine where you can start out with almost 3,700 colleges, 2 and 4 year colleges, and you can narrow it down by all these filters here and start coming up with a list of schools that match your criteria that you're looking for. So this isn't the be all end all. This isn't the only place that you'll go to search, but this is definitely a good place to start the search and to find schools that you don't know about, because they're all listed on here, and they even have some schools that are out of the country listed on here. Not many, but some. I think that that's all. You can register online here. You can send your scores. You don't want to send your PSAT scores anywhere, but when you take the SAT, you'll need to send those to the colleges that you apply to, so you can send that all through here. This scholarship search down here can help you find college scholarships. And then there's also the expected family contribution calculator. Takes your family's financial information and helps you figure out what you might pay for, what you might be expected to contribute to college, and what your financial aid package might be at particular schools. So that's also a good resource for you too. So tons of good information here. And I hope that, I know that it's the end of the year, and we're all getting ready for break. But hopefully you'll take the rest of advisory today to start exploring this and kind of create your plan for studying, and really just utilizing some of these tools that are on here. As always, you can always come and see myself if I'm your counselor, or Miss Hirsch if she's your counselor. We are happy to help you navigate all of this, or understand your scores, or help you with your college search. So thanks so much for listening, and have a great day and a wonderful break.